And then we recognize how frustrated we become, don't we? We feel like we become frustrated because we are trying to manage the things outside of our control, and we're trying to twist and contort these things around us to satisfy our desires. As a matter of fact, we might spend our entire lives trying to twist and manage and manipulate and exploit and contort the things around us that we have no control over. Oh, and we will see people become great philosophers. Great philosophers of how to manipulate and manage and contort and twist and turn the things outside of our control. But what about the things within our control? What about the things within our control? And you know what I'm going to propose? I'm going to propose that we spend so little time managing the things that we can control that it almost becomes unfamiliar to us to manage the things that are within our control. It's unfamiliar. You almost have to exercise your ability to manage the things that you can control. You have to exercise the muscle so that you can develop your ability to manage the things that are in your control. Now, you might say, well, why do I want to manage the things that are in my control? Because the things that you can manage that are in your control are truly the things that you can help develop and advance your life. See, people spend so much time on the things that they can't control, and these things that they can't control, they believe can help them develop their lives, help them improve their lives. But see, you can't control it. You can't control what other people are going to do. You can't control what other people are going to say. You can't control how someone's going to react. You can't control what someone's response is going to be. You can't control what the technology is going to do. You can't control what the politicians are going to do. You can't control what your brother is going to do, or your sister, or your mother, or your father. You can't control what the weather is going to do. But we spend so much time on these things that are outside of our control, trying to believe that our ability to control it is what's going to improve our lives, while we neglect the things that we can manage that actually can control our lives, improve our lives. And my suggestion for us all here today is that we should develop the muscle of managing and controlling and manipulating and exploiting the things that we can control in our lives that truly improve our lives. We need to get used to that. We need to find ourselves. We need to find ourselves in our capabilities to manage that which we can control. You need to learn what that even feels like. Now, I use a simple example. I exercise every day. Now, a lot of people think, oh, well, you exercise so you can stay fit and healthy. Well, yeah, that is one thing. But the real reason that I exercise every day is because it reminds me
been healthy
things that I can control and that I should get really good. I should become familiar with managing the things that I can control. I should become familiar with it. I should master it. My friends, we need to learn how to master the things that we can control. Some of us are living literally out of control. Holy moly, out of control. We are out of control. We have no control. We are so focused on the things that we have no control of, and we are not doing anything that we can control. And so we live a life of out of control. And then we look for harmony. Hey, you can't find harmony in chaos, folks. Our whole lives are chaotic. And yet we are seeking harmony. Do you guys see the folly in this situation? Do you see the folly? So the reason why this is important is because there are very few things that we can control. Very few things. But most of it has to do with controlling ourselves. Do you see? Do you see? See, there are very few things that we can control, but what we can control is ourselves. Now, I can't tell you how you're gonna act, but I can tell you how I'm gonna act. Do you see? I don't know your belief system. I don't know your philosophy, because that's something I can't control, but I know my philosophy. The attempt is to surround ourselves with people who are of the same philosophy, but that doesn't mean that I can control you. Do you understand? Now, I know that we are all here as part of the the gifting program, the automatic systematic gifting program. And a lot of times we find ourselves looking for solutions to make it work better. We're looking for solutions to make people do better, act better, or something. We're trying to find more predictability in the outcomes. But I'm here to tell you. Look, there's a lot that we can't control. Okay? We can't control what other people are going to do, but we can control what we are going to do. Does that make sense? You are in control of your behavior. You are in control of your philosophy. You are in control of your reactions and responses to stimuli. Okay? You know the old saying, right? Between stimulus and response, there's a space. And whatever you do with that space determines the way your whole life works out. Do you understand? All we can really do is offer people the opportunity to control themselves. All we can really do is help encourage people to manage what they can control. All we can suggest is that people move away from chaos and move closer to harmony. That's all we can really do. All we can really do is demonstrate harmony and hope that others will then align with us. That's all we can really do. We can't tell people what to do. We can't manage their actions and behaviors. We can manage their expectations. We can manage people's expectations by setting an example. Our example is what we can control. Do you guys see the difference now? Do you see what we can do and what we can't do? Okay? I can't tell you how to act, but I can act as best I can in hopes that you will follow my example. Does that make sense? Listen, leaders of the world, which that's what I think of you guys. I think of you as leaders of the world. You leaders of the world are the example for people to follow. If we're going to sit as leaders of the world and discuss how we're going to improve our lives and the lives of others, then the real discussion is not what other people do and how other people behave. The real discussion is how shall we behave? How should we act so that we can be an example for others to follow? That's what the real discussion should be about, especially as leaders of the world. And let's talk about the expectations that others have and how we might be able to demonstrate the kind of behavior that we would hope other people would have. How about that one? Oh yeah, that's a little more difficult then, isn't it? Oh, it's easy to say them, they, them, though, they, those guys, they, them, they, all them, they. It's easy to do that. But the real challenge is, ladies and gentlemen, here's the real challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, how should we behave such that we inspire the best behavior out of other people? That's a difficult one right there, man. Woo, that's difficult. Hey, that's the conversation that we should be having. How should we behave so that we inspire the best behavior from others? Woo! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's the challenge. So I was jogging this morning. I was going on, I jogged for 2.5 miles, 2.5 miles through the hills, through the countryside, through the hills. And when I run, now mind you, I live in California and it's winter season. So it's cold outside. It's really cold. It's about, I don't know, maybe in the 40s or 30s this morning. Now, when I exercise outdoors, I'm kind of crazy. I like to wear as little clothes as possible. I mean, I'll put on shorts and like a t-shirt that, I like to have a lot of my skin exposed to the elements. I kind of, at my age, I'm 51, okay? I'm 51 years old. At my age, I like to test myself and challenge myself a little bit. So I like to run in the cold, and feel like I'm braving the elements, And so I'm running in the cold, but what happens is after you've run about half a mile, your body gets used to the outside temperature, right? And all of a sudden you're not cold anymore. When you start, it's cold. It's cold when you start, okay? When you start, it's cold. You're uncomfortable. You feel uneasy. When you start, it's something that you don't like, okay? But once you get started and you run about a half a mile, all of a sudden your body tends to adjust to the temperature outside. And all of a sudden you're comfortable, even though it's cold outside. Inside you're warm and you're running, and next thing you know, you realize that you're working hard because it's a run and I'm running up the hills and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, even though it's cold outside, I'm starting to sweat, okay? Now I'm running, and all of a sudden I come across another guy walking down the path, the trail. Okay, he's walking down the trail. Now, mind you, he's got a jacket on, he's got pants on, he's got gloves on, he's got a hat pulled on his head, and I'm running down the path. I got shorts on, my legs are exposed, my arms and everything are open, okay? And I'm sweating. And he's bundled up like like it's snowing. And he stops me and he goes, "Hey," he says, "doesn't the pain of the cold, aren't you bothered by the pain of the cold?" And I stopped and I said, "No." I said, "I like running in the cold." I said, "Otherwise, I'll get too hot and it's uncomfortable." And he just kind of shakes his head at me, like he's looking at me like I'm crazy, because it's cold outside and I'm running down like it's nothing, and he's bundled up like it's snowing, like he's in the Sierra, like he's in the tundra, okay? So there was a lesson I thought about. I thought about the lesson in that little engagement. And the lesson is this: especially when it becomes time to look for ways to improve your life. When it comes time for life, when it's time to improve your life, you got to put yourself out there, even though it might be cold. You got to put yourself out there, even though it's cold out there. You got to put yourself out there. You got to do what's uncomfortable in the beginning. It's uncomfortable in the beginning. You got to put yourself out there. It may be unfamiliar to you. You may have to deal with the scrutiny of other people's opinions, which you can't control. You might have to find yourself in a situation where you are unfamiliar with the environment. It might be cold. But as you do this and you start doing this more and more, you're going to find that you're going to become, you're going to adjust to the new environment. All of a sudden, you're going to start to warm up a little bit on the inside. Now, the outside still may be cold. You still have to deal with other people's opinions. You have to deal with your self-doubts. You might have to deal with, constraints of your circumstances. That's not going to change. But you will become more adapted to this endeavor to improve your life. You're going to adjust to it. And eventually, you're going to find yourself working hard at it. But you'll be used to the environment. Do you understand what I'm saying, folks? You'll be used to the environment. It'll never get warm. It'll always be cold. When you're on that journey of trying to improve your life, you will always come across an uncomfortable environment to be in. But you still got to keep running. You still got to keep running. You'll get adjusted to it. You'll get used to it. And you're going to run into people that are going to say, "Aren't you cold?" Isn't that painful to try to improve your life? Shouldn't you put a jacket on? Shouldn't you try to just stay warm and cozy? Shouldn't you just stay comfortable? Shouldn't you just try to keep warm and cozy? Why are you running around and it's so cold out there? You're going to run into those kind of people. I hope you guys are understanding my metaphor here.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you guys. So I just want to let you know that eventually you're gonna like running in the cold. You're gonna find it more comforting to
we'll get used to it.
You'll get used to it. You'll love it, as a matter of fact. I love running in the cold. I love running in the cold and then warming up to it. And then I'm sweating while I'm running in the cold. While other people, they're just so concerned about staying warm and cozy. And they even come to you and ask you, aren't you cold? Don't you want to be warm? So listen, my friends, I hope you understood my lessons today. You know,
Yes.
the first thing you want to do is start focusing on things you can control in your life. Okay? Exercise the muscle of giving attention to the things you can control. The things you can control, number one, is your health. You can control your health. Your health is not out of your control. No one, nobody, nothing outside of you has any control on your health more than you have control on your health. It's 100% in your control. Exercise that in your health so you know what it feels like to be in control. Because otherwise your life will be consumed with the frustrations of the things that are out of your control while you're trying to control it. And that is a life of chaos. And how is it that we are going to demonstrate how to live life under control if we are setting a poor example of that? And your health and fitness is that one thing that you can control. Exercise that muscle. The other thing, the other lesson for today in review is just understanding that you have to start running, even though it's cold. But don't worry, you will get used to it. You will get adjusted to it. But if you don't ever start running, then people will be asking, you'll be that person talking about, it's so cold outside. How can you even stand it? Start running and don't worry, you'll get used to the cold. Okay? So, Sister Victorious, Madam Victorious, Brother Gabby, Brother Eric, Phil.
Hi.
Brother Eben.
Yeah.
Adolphine. Adayeye. Abel. Scholar. Kabina. Joshua. Rosaline. Johnny.
Yep.
How do I say it? Fulishade? Daniel. I think I got everybody there, huh? Lord Kingsley.
It's mentioning the
Kama. I know. I'm not the best at the names.
Thank you.
I'm not the best at the names. I'm just trying to acknowledge and recognize all of you guys. Sir John.
Yeah.
Joshua. I think I got everybody.
Yeah, we appreciate
Sure,
that.
you got everybody. Yeah.
Rosaline. I got too. So, guys, I hope this lesson was helpful to you, because
Just that we have people on Facebook Live watching. I can't get.
Okay, great. Hey, all of you guys on Facebook. Okay. Thank you guys for listening in. I apologize again for being tardy for the meeting today, but I hope I was able to give you guys some encouragement, some kind of value in attending the meeting.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate that.
Absolutely. How about we'll see you guys next Tuesday, same time, 10 a.m. my time, and I think it's what time is it?
7 p.m. Nigeria,
Okay.
6 p.m. Ghana, 8 p.m. South Africa.
Okay.
UK, yes. 7 p.m. too.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Madam Victorious.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you guys
sir.
next time, okay? Take care.
Right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
God bless you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Right.
Thank you,
Bye.
Randy. Bye.
Thank you.
Good
Bye.
night, Randy. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow. This is one of the most
Right.
profound statements I've ever heard.